All right. Hey, I wanted to say thank you all for tapping in with me. I'm the ambassador. We are live on Live and Unscript, and I have one of my favorite PGs of all time. I have PD. That's his new nickname, right? We had to change it. But Peyton Davis, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself real quick, and then we're gonna go into just Live and Unscript. We're gonna just chop it up.
Yeah, my name's Peyton Davis. I'm from Silverdale, Washington. 19. Just finished my first 2 years of college basketball at Olympic College, and recently just committed to Evergreen State College to continue my career there.
Man, so P, 19, it's crazy, right? I've known you, what, seventh grade, middle school. Well, I
Yep.
met you before middle school. Your
Yeah.
dad brought you to the gym when I was over at
Yeah.
Our Lady of the Star C, and
Yeah.
that's when I first had a chance to meet you, and then you became an admiral. And so we're gonna go down that journey because you was a part of that class that went through the pandemic, and that was tough, right? Everything shut down, the whole world stopped, and then you still wanting to pursue your dreams of playing basketball. And so things got changed, the whole world changed. Um, and you end up going, well, of course, you played at CK. And, you know, playing at CK, it was, really, I had to say, it was a learning experience. It helped honestly prepare you to go to OC, which I'm also alumni from OC too. So, Rangers. Man, at CK, it was rough. And when we say rough, just far as wins and losses and really learning. So you go off to OC, it wasn't much difference, if we want to say from wins and losses. So let's go jump into that, right? Because you go from high school and you get a chance to go to JUCO to the college level, and here it is. It's a sort of struggle, 2 years of sort of like rebuilding. So let's talk a little bit about that. How was that as a freshman, and then finishing up this year?
So yeah, after like you said, first starting at CK, I mean, it was pretty. Freshman year, they went state. I mean, and up until my junior year, we're competitive, and then senior year, kind of flatlined. Couldn't win many, and then, but I think it really did prepare me, and like in a sense of just having resilience. I mean, especially with my first year there at OC. I mean, uh, my head coach Paul Felker got hired probably about mid like a week before
Season.
like July.
Yeah.
It was preseason starts in August, and he kind of had to just jump ship. So we had just some group of guys together who were trying to just you see what happens first year as a head coach too. I mean, so there's definitely some rough stuff, but I mean, we stuck together, which was really like impressive, honestly, because a lot of JUCOs, when you see stuff happening, people quit, people just don't show up anymore. I mean, just, but those group of guys, I mean, that I played with both these years, really just, I mean, they just showed resilience every time, even if they didn't want to, even if we lost a bad game, they would just show back up regardless. And I mean, I think it really helped me too as well, just knowing that I'm doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're right, and here's that's the pretty cool part too, right? So, man, I'm also a Ranger, and your coach was my coach. He was my assistant coach when I played there. So Phelps was my assistant coach with Billy Landrum. So it was pretty cool to see you get to play for him, and to go to my old college as well. So it was those were some fun things, and that gave me a chance to be able to come and see you. Actually watch you play, and your game. was always, I felt like you always had game. Now, back then you was just a little smaller, and then as you grew, your work ethic was second to none. Always hard worker, great kid, great young man. Now you was a little kid, and I gotta say you're a young man now, and that's one of the things that your character is amazing, and a great leader, and that was something I feel like at OC as y'all went through the season helped to shape you to get you ready for Evergreen, right? Because, like you said, you had 2 years. I'm like, what was your record this year?
It was we almost had the same exact record both years. It was like 3-20 both years.
And so the think about that, the mental capacity, right, to endure all of that, right? That's that's a lot, right? Because you think about it, you of course we all want to win, and then at a JUCO level, you only get 2 years. And that's those 2 years for those who had never played JUCO, as we say, that's a dog eat dog world that everybody is fighting because you only got 2 years to try to impress a college to go to continue your career or your journey in basketball. And so when you're not winning, coaches ain't really looking, you know,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things. So how was that? How were you able to overcome that? The fact that y'all wasn't winning all these games, but you wanted to continue your playing career. What was some of the things that you did to help, get these offers?
Well, honestly, I think for me it was just my faith.
Okay.
A lot of praying, a lot of talking with God late at night, just figuring out what I need to do. I talked to my uncle Maya about helping me with recruiting. Same with Coach Rollman down at Seattle Pacific. He helped me
Okay.
out too. It's just a lot of reaching out, a lot of emails being sent, waiting for just waiting for an opportunity, really. But once uh, I started sending them out, I started getting some looks back, and then it all went from there.
Okay. Okay. No, I mean, and that's something that once again um, it shows your character and just your work ethics where you didn't just wait, right, and depend on, like, there's some players I've been fortunate enough to coach for over a decade at every level, and so you have some players that just wait and think that the coach is just going to do all the work, but you took the initiative to say, you know what, let me make the extra calls, let me reach out to the different resources and relationships and see how I can get help. And I think that that's key, especially like you said, if you only won 3-4 games in a season, that's major, right? So, and you said so you're going to Evergreen, but Evergreen isn't the only offer you had. You had another offer as well, right?
Yeah, I had one other offer and from this D3 school in Minnesota, Crown College. Uh, yeah, I got that offer about halfway through the season.
Okay, okay, and so you did your research on that college?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you find out about that college?
Coach Luke Herbert, really good guy. I had a conversation with him on the phone. Runs a phenomenal program down there, up there in Minnesota. Really, just really, it's a Christian school, and they
Okay.
keep a lot of. I mean, I was talking to him a good amount about it too, and they have a really good environment down there. It seemed like a good family, like not only as just a basketball team, but like as an entire school. It seems like
Okay.
they're pretty tight knit. Um, Yeah, I mean they won or they're really competitive every year. Uh they go to the tournament every year in their conference. I mean, they're a really solid program. They have been for a while.
Are they an NAIA school?
Nah, no, they're a D3.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you did say D3 because I was just thinking that's I went to from OC to Puget Sound Christian College, which was a NAIA. So I went there before making a leap to the if you say minor leagues, pros or whatever, playing for Seattle and Tacoma, and so like you said, that was a whole different world, right? But I think the difference, right, for me was Well, I wasn't 19. That's a whole nother thing. So that's the other part where, like, I went from Bremerton to Everett, so I was still in the vicinity, and or if you want to say at home, and that's sort of the choice that why you stuck with, or you made the choice for Evergreen. Is that
Hmm.
correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much correct. I'm also a very big, not say penny pincher, but I am. I like to say financially smart with my money, so I don't.
Okay.
Another big thing was also tuition, especially with out of
Okay.
state tuition. But yeah, that was also a big part. I'm a very big family man, and like that, just like being around them.
Yeah. No. No. Your family. I have to say. Big family, y'all close, love them. You know what I mean? And I can see that apart, just wanting to be, y'all very supportive of one another. And so, one thing that you said, a penny pincher. I mean, you say you're 19, but you have like an old soul. You know what I mean? You begin to think about, you're looking at, hey, I don't want to waste a lot of money. I go to bed early. You do things that sort of like, I have to say, probably like your cousin Jalen. I mean, y'all just different. Where you say, okay, um, most young men your age, and you look at everybody else and you say, okay, this is why they stand out because their mentality and how they carry themselves and what they do is different. And so, listening to you, I'm like, man, what 19-year-old is really worried about money and have good values, want to be around the family. So salute, I have to say, I know your mom, so you know, and I know she was a huge part in your life, and so hey, amazing young man, and then of course your big brother, and that it's pretty
Yeah,
cool to have you still coming to work out with us and things like that. So how has your brother played a part? Because I know that y'all work out and do things like that. So how has he played a part in your journey?
I'm not the type to give him credit because I mean he's my brother, but I watched my brother. I don't like to admit it, but I watched my brother growing up. He was the person I watched the most. I mean, he was
Okay.
always just he was kind of like I would always try to model my game around him. Uh, and I mean, just watching him, just trying to mimic the thing he would always do. And then when I started getting serious about basketball, I mean, there's been a few times we've worked out together. Like I'll go down to the gym, he'll put me through some drills, and I mean, it's really nice that he's still like staying around basketball because it also it helps me staying more engaged as well, like wanting to do better because he's also in it too.
No, that's pretty cool. So I might have to take that clip and make that the highlight so your brother can hear you actually give him some props.
Uh,
But no, I think it's like for me as a mentor coach, and just actually I feel like an extended uncle, a part of the family. I've had both of y'all a part of the program, and y'all are still around. And of course, your brother is now a trainer and a coach with us in the Admirals, and so I think that's pretty inspiring for you to the kids to be able to see someone. Well, to see both of y'all because y'all both was a part of the program and now giving back, and you still continue to play, and you come and you give now Carson. Well, you got more than just Carson. You got your other cousin. I'm about to say I call her Debo, but your cousins are now
oh,
part of.
Riley,
Huh?
Riley,
Yes, yes. I have to call it Debo because he was at the game. Yeah.
yeah.
And so I mean, but like it's like a family affair now, and it's pretty cool to see um, you two sort of leading the way. Y'all came through, and now the other family is coming, and y'all are still around, pouring into the community, into the next generation. And so that's one of the things that I have to say. Salute to both of you all. So as you get ready to go to Evergreen, what is your hopes and goals as you go? What are you going to study?
Right now, I'm finishing my degree in technical management at OC. So I'm
Okay.
looking for a master's degree right now over there. And the one I have my eye on is public administration, which would basically be like going over governments, their policies, just uh, like an official. It's just like pretty broad, but like it ties into a lot of different things. But that's the one I'm looking at right now at Evergreen.
Oh, nice. And I know you got a plan. You know what I mean? It's no way you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna go play basketball. There's a rhyme or reason behind why you're going, and so that's pretty good. A master's. Okay. You have a master's about, well, you're only 19. You probably what, 20, what, 3, 24? What, I don't even know how long it takes for a master's. About 6, is it?
It'll be 2 years because I'm getting my bachelor's at the end of this summer. So then I'll just do another 2 years
Oh, wow.
at Evergreen and then hopefully graduate there with my master's.
That's right. You did run and start.
Yeah.
That's right. Smart young man. Okay, so when you graduated, you had already had your AA. Okay, hey, for those who are watching, listen. That's the game plan. He's giving you all the secrets to the game plan, right? I'm like, he's gonna have a master's by the time he's like 21. So, hey, you can't forget me, P. Hey, I'm just saying. So, with your goals going to Evergreen, we know what you're gonna do as far as education wise. On the court, how do you see yourself being able to fit into their system and their program?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, uh, I've just been working on my game this whole off season, just really trying to get ready, trying to become the player like I know I can be, and just really just stay out of my head and really just give myself these next 2 years and allow myself to actually shine and show my talent. But I really see myself coming in and making a big impact, just playing my game with, I mean, and I'm confident in my ability to not only affect the team in a great way, but I mean, just the culture. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely going with intentions of playing great basketball and hopefully bringing some wins to the team.
Yes. No, I'm definitely had to come out to Evergreen and check you out. I've had a chance to see you play high school at CK, caught a game there, and at the JUCO level. So now I got to catch you over at Evergreen. But you have, I mean, your game. It's not surprising to me to see how much you continue to improve and get better. You know what I mean? Like I said, you just your talent, you have a gift, and just your work ethics, all of that. Now with the height, because you're about what, 6 foot almost, or about
Yeah.
somewhere, so you got nice size for a guard, smart, really quick. Watching you work out, I was like, you're actually like, I like your footwork, can shoot. So, what are some of the things? What are some of the things you wanting to improve before you head off?
Definitely. Uh, my biggest thing right now is my ankle stability,
Okay.
um, and like my bump finishes because I do a lot of my moves uh, come off my shoulders. So my biggest thing is being able to not only like have different finishes off the bumps, but also just different finishes in general. So I don't come predictable. Just and then, but most importantly, the ankle stability.
Yeah, yeah, because if the ankle ain't right, you ain't gonna be playing. You know what I mean? That's your movement and all of the agility. That's major. So, what are you currently doing to improve your ankle strength and stability?
I went to rehab at the beginning of last season for about 3 months. there. And then so they gave me a whole bunch of different workouts with a bunch of different resistant bands, different like stretches almost. But I have a whole bunch. I have like a little, I don't know if you can see, but I have like a little weight room in here in my
Oh wow.
room. So I have like some resistant bands and stuff. Like I'll just sit there in my room while I'm eating or just watching TV and just do a whole bunch of different like little workouts, either the ABCs, the boxes. I'll do like just a whole bunch of different things. But then most importantly, at least I think is most importantly, I just try to play a lot. Just try to get that movement back and going.
Did you have an injury or something that took you out? So what happened?
Uh Actually, so I never had any really injuries up until my freshman year of college.
Okay.
I rolled my ankle, but it wasn't bad, and it was my right one. Uh, but that was right before I started my freshman year, so I was out probably about I was out probably for about 2 months because I rolled it, and then like 2 weeks later I tried to play on it, and then hurt it
Okay.
even more. So then I had to like take time off, but uh, I recovered from that, played, but then actually, funny enough, in this past summer league, we played Evergreen. Uh, Jordan Joseph made this nice move, did this slow step, and I bit and I jumped, and he got me up in the air, and then he shot the floater, and I ended up coming down on someone's foot, but it didn't feel like I like sprained it. It was like a weird feeling. Like I was still able to run and stuff, but then right after that, I knew something was wrong because it was bothering me for like the next month. So then I had to go see a doctor and then get my MRI and all that stuff. So then I ended up rehabbing for the first 2 months of the year for practice. I started practicing our like 1 week before I scrimmaged or before I
Okay.
scrimmage.
Okay. No, I mean that thing you mentioned, Joseph. It's crazy to see all the players that you grew up with, because Jordan was one of the guys that you hooped against and around, and you think of JoJo. It's a lot of players that have come out of here that is actually gone on and is really doing very well. And so that's one of the things that I love about, I have to say, your generation, that you are making a lot of noise, for the area and really helping, especially like, well, your cousin, that he's probably one of the biggest name
Yeah.
right now in the basketball world, not just only in Kitsap, but just in the nation. He's killing as a sophomore. Yeah, he's a sophomore now, right?
Yes.
So with a state title and all of that, MVP, he's really like that. So it's pretty cool to watch the culture change. And get back to that place where I used to hear about how it's your family. You know what I mean? Think about from your dad, your uncle. Hey, some of the best players that has come out of this area, and so you hear about those days, how good basketball was, and you say, okay, now you start looking, you say, oh, we're back. You know what I mean? You got a lot of young guys like yourself that are coming up and doing very well. And I think one of the things that I really love about it is the mental. You look at just your mentality, not just as a hooper, but just in life. Like I said, y'all getting master degrees and all of these degrees and engineer and all this and that. You'd be like, hey, back in my day, we just like, hey, we're just trying to hoop. So it's like, no, we're gonna hoop, but we want to do A, B, and C to make sure we're in a good place. And so that's pretty cool. So who are some of your I guess you can say, the people you mimic your game after, who's been very inspirational, in developing the young man or hooper that you are?
Uh, for me, from what I like have been taught about basketball, I haven't really tried to key in on one player specifically, but what I've always tried to do is take a little piece from everyone's game that like I
Yeah.
notice or like I like and try to steal them or
Okay.
steal a little bit from it. Like I started doing it in high school, really, like when I started playing against like my friends D'Angelo and Roop and Kanye and all of them
Yeah.
back in high school, and I seen their game and I noticed they were playing a little differently than me, and I was like, try to start taking it from each little thing I like from, just try to mimic it in my game to just make my game as complete as it can be.
Yeah, no, that's smart. It's and like I said, the names that you named were some of the best hoopers from the area and all of that. And that's the like I said, once again, for me, being able to watch y'all grow up and to watch y'all now as young men, some of the best hoopers, not just in our area, but just in general, when you begin to look and say, okay, we can take you not only across the water, out of state, you're going to make noise, and so to have that kind of talent and friends around you to pull from and to challenge each other really helps make you a better player as well. And so, no, I mean, great answer. I have to say, great answer. Let me see. I think I still have about 5 minutes because I know I told you I'm gonna keep it 30 minutes. I can't keep it too long because, like you said, you're a young old man, right? I love it. I love it. Right. So before we go, what are some things that you would? And I had asked you this before, but what is some things you would tell the next generation or the younger generation that is coming up that you've learned throughout your time or even now? What are some advice or things that you would give them?
Really just that basketball basketball is gonna have its ups and downs. And it's sometimes the highs will be really high and sometimes you'll get really low, but I mean at the end of the day, just staying consistent and really just believing in the work that you're doing, because I think that's the biggest thing like that I've noticed, like even watching some of my other like cousins games and stuff like that is just, and watching my film back, just the mental part of the game, it's a very big deal, but it's not talked about as much.
Yeah.
um but just having that confidence and self-belief in yourself that you can do these things on the court and allow yourself to actually shine and showcase your skills is very important, because a lot of players will hide back their light just because they don't think they're the guy or the number one option on their team, but they could end up being, who knows, like a lot. And I've seen like my cousin Jr, for example, he's gotten a lot better, by the way, and you check him out on the
Yeah.
Under Armour circuit.
Yeah.
uh
Yeah. I
but
heard.
he there was a lot of times I catch him his freshman year, like hesitating on like some of his shots, and I'd be like, man, why don't you pull it? Like you're like a great shooter, dude. Like you need to shoot those shots. And then I started thinking, I'm like, wait, maybe do I do that too? Like, but yeah, so just staying consistent, knowing that bad things are gonna happen. You're not gonna make every single shot. Something might not go wrong, right, or your way. It's basketball. It happens. And just really trying to believe in yourself, like on a real note, like, because I mean, at that point, that's, if you can't play free and confident, then you're not going to be playing at your best ability.
No, that's true. Like you said, and that's something that we added to the program is the mental health or the mental part, right? Where we have some I guess you would say doctors or teachers, people to come in to actually help begin to work and help build that part because we so focus on the physical or the skill training, but we don't, the mental part. And like you said, you got to have the confidence. The game is going to be ups and downs. It's a lot of pressure because you're a student, you have family issues, and there's things that's going on, but yet you still got to go out and you want to perform at the highest level, especially for those who want to go on and play at the next level. That's a lot of pressure, right? And
Yeah.
I say, only imagine. I say your family because, like I said, Junior, because I did spoke to your uncle recently, and he had told me that Junior is now Under Armour as well. So he was training because I saw him training him and Jalen. I went to the gym and I'm like, oh, so you look at your family is one of the when you talk about basketball, one of the most respected, biggest names where you say, okay, the best hoopers come out of this family. So that's a whole nother pressure too, in the sense to be like, okay, we're expected to be good, if you want to say, right? But y'all
Yeah.
put in work. It is definitely in the DNA. And so, but like you said, the confidence do play a big part of what's going on. So now, once again, another great answer. I wish I was doing interviews back when you was younger to see if you was, you had that mentality, which I'm sure you did.
Yeah. Back then there wasn't really much going on up there. It was just shoot ball.
You said nothing up here. You just shot it. That was just it, right? Well, I mean, and that's one of the things. Well, I'm about to say, yeah, your family a bunch of shooters. When you think about it, when I go back and I'm thinking over from cousins, uncles, dad, everybody. I'm like, no, they all can shoot the ball, like can really get buckets. So, um, and that's one of the things I've seen you working on lately is your mid range, right? And like I said, because you shoot the three, the mid range, and now contact finishing. Because I try to tell people mid range, you can make a whole career just off of mid range, and just as a shooter that's a job right there. I mean, that's a guarantee. That's what I did. I started off as the one and then end up moving to the two. And I'm like, okay, as long as I can shoot, thank God I can still shoot to this day. And it's
Yep.
hard to, to stop a shooter at the end of the day. So, you know, well, so my time is up 30 minutes. But one thing, one of the things I definitely want to do, and we'll do this, is once the season start, because I'm gonna follow you. Because of course, I do the next generation. We did that interview, and that's the part too. Being able to go to the games and catch highlights and do interviews with y'all, and just really begin to follow your journey. Because once again, like you said, being a part of the Admiral family, there's a lot of admirals and just more than just admirals, just the community as a whole that we're rooting. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter. That's what I love about our community is in the sense that you from no matter what jersey you have on, you from out here, we're rooting for you. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
think that that's just as a whole, just the young I say young cats, the youngins being able to see someone that they can follow and can say, okay, yes. And so I'm gonna definitely be in touch with you. I'm sure I'm gonna see you in the gym because you're always in the gym, but we're gonna stay in contact so I can come and check out one of your games, um, and be able to let people see how your next journey is going. And so how can people you don't really do social media, but you can throw it out there anyway. That's what I'm about to say. You don't really have a whole lot on your social media. You don't really post enough or a lot or whatever. But if somebody did want to get in contact or follow you, how could they do that?
My Instagram is Payton Davis with an underscore, all lowercase. Uh, it's pretty much that and like Snapchat are pretty much my only form of social media. So I mean, but yeah, you can reach me there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't.
Yeah, no, I told you you are an old young man, right? Because you don't really do a whole lot of social media, which is great. I love that about you. It's great to be different. And that's because that's how I look at myself. I know a gang of people, but at the same time, I'm sort of in my own world. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that's just sort of better sometimes, just get away from a lot of the drama and things that's happening in the world. But man, it was great chopping it up with you, P. Um, I want to say thank everybody who tapped in with us tonight. Tomorrow, I will have Shane Cleveland, and that's those who don't know the story of Nate Robinson. Shane
Nate
Cleveland
Robinson.
Yes, Shane Cleveland donated the kidney that saved Nate Robinson's life. So he'll be on with me tomorrow. And he's also from our community. So that's what I'm saying. That's the great part, like kids that, we are doing big things. So man, tomorrow we'll be on I think at 8 o'clock. And no, at 7 o'clock tomorrow. But I want to thank everybody for tapping in with us. I am the ambassador, and this is my man PD. And until next time, as I say, peace, soul, and okay, never mind. You're too young for that. All right, okay. All right, B man. You have a good night, my man.
You too.
Okay.